You guys, let me get to this super chat real quick. I'm getting behind, and Zach's is going to hit me with the cattle prod again. This is a $4.99. He is. He's Canadian. He doesn't screw around. This is for $4.99. Says, number one, Gary Oldman was the best Dracula. Hold your fire over there, Writing Raven. Number two, looking forward to the Hammer horror take. I'm guessing they're going.
That's referring to Christopher Lee. Hammer horror refers to Christopher Lee.
Yes, it's that's probably my favorite Dracula. I love those movies. They are such a snapshot, especially being a kid growing up. I was born in 1970, so a lot of that crazy hairstyles and clothes and freaky stuff that you saw that was 60s. Yeah, there was a lot of polyester back in the day, you know? And but there's a kind of a familiarity with that in an analogness to it. And I think we talked about it last week where, you know, generationally, and this is very deep into the 20th century, folks. Yes, the 20th century, which we are almost 25 years removed from, where those movies are so organic. And Christopher Lee, and I think we've talked about it before, he could have been anybody, and he was. He was one of the coolest James Bond villains ever. He was fantastic in a lot of the British movies that he did as well. But Gary Oldman was the best Dracula. Writing Raven, I want to get your take on that. Who's your Dracula? Who is the best representation of Dracula in your opinion? And thank you again, Thunder Sensei 150.
So, going by movies, it would have to be Bela Lugosi. Visually speaking, and just the overall presence that he had with the character, I thought that was brilliant. Book-wise, obviously Bram Stoker. And other book-wise, my own. It's a self-plug. I co-authored a book about Count Dracula's children.
Oh, cool.
It's very different, but I've gotten some good reviews on it.
I'm going to kick this around. Purple, I know you love Nick Cage's Dracula. I know who you're going to say, Purple. Go ahead.
I do genuinely love Christopher Lee. I thought he had a fantastic presence. I agree, Bela Lugosi, because he is so iconic. And I know this is probably going to give me a lot of hate, but I didn't actually hate Luke Evans in Dracula Untold.
Ooh, neither did I. That was actually a really good movie. I liked it.
It got panned, but I didn't think it was as bad as people said.
No, it wasn't. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Max, what about you? Are you into the horror genre? If so, if it's not Dracula, what is your thing? What gets your MVP-ness horror juices going from a horror perspective?
Horror, not horror, gets the
you caught that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually really do enjoy horror films. Twilight Zone is really where I got my start in horror, and that kind of black and white, creepy, otherworldly sci-fi. It's, it's kind of everything. It's sci-fi, it's horror, it's fantasy, and so that's kind of where I got my start. So I would agree with the Christopher Lee and Bela Lugosi, because that's same, I guess, era, if you will. This isn't my favorite Dracula, but I think it's funny to mention in Blade Trinity, the third Blade film, there's actually Dracula. There's a guy who plays Dracula in that movie. Now it's a totally different representation.
Dominic Purcell played in Blade Trinity. He's
this like beefy, beefed up kind of hulking dude, whereas you tend to think of Dracula much more slim, slender, more defined. But they kind of did a different take. But that was it's definitely not my favorite, but it's an interesting. I just think it's a funny, oh hey, I remember Blade Trinity.
So, what about you, Zax? I mean, are you a horror guy? Horror guy? If so, are you Frankenstein, The Mummy? What's your jam, man?
I like horror movies. I'm more of a Lost Boys kind of a fan than a Dracula fan, but I did like the Luke Evans one. If I was going to cast a new Dracula, I was thinking Joe Biden, but he's probably going to be busy.
No intelligent play, intelligent.
Politics? No. Oh, he's a politician? Wow. Okay.
No.
I think he sucks blood out of everything he touches. No.
Oh God.
I think Zax. I think you're thinking of the Crypt Keeper. From the old.
Yes.
I think maybe the look is. But yeah, is that
Where
why
am I?
he's always is that why he's got his mouth around, like, you know, people's necks, and you know, he's always like got his creepy fingers on their shoulders, and or is he smelling them, or is he?
He's smelling them. It's like a buffet, right? You go check out the food before you take some. So he's gonna go take a whiff. Is this for me?
That's smart.
This is payback. Yep. This is Max's payback for what I do to him on his man cave show. All right, now I know what it's like. Very well done, sir. I'll tell you what, and you guys are going to laugh, but nobody talked about, I think, one of the coolest depictions of Dracula ever, and that was Leslie Nielsen in that comedy movie where he played, God, what was it? It wasn't Once Bitten. I forget the name of it, but
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Yes, Dracula Dead and Loving It. And
at least we're not talking about the Adam Sandler one in Hotel Transylvania.
That's not Dracula. That's
it is.
That's not even Count Chocula.
Yeah, exactly.
Count Chocula.
We do not speak of it. Let's move on.
That is a good Dracula, though.
I said that Daniel said in a super chat, so it's out of order, but it's actually no love for Leslie Nielsen is what he says. Now that movie.
Oh, hail to you, Daniel. Great minds think alike. That's why he joined the channel. That's why he comments on my videos. That's why I love having him on every week. Hail to you, brother. Says, no love for Leslie Nielsen. Nah, that movie sucked. Good joke.
Has ever. This is Salty Texas C. I am Corey DB. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you've seen and heard, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you on board. That way you know, and we have things like live streams, which we are now going to be doing every Tuesday evening. Take care. I hope you're having a great 2022.